Good morning, all. This is your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess. So, look, child, it is early. I am tired. I haven't even been asleep. This came to me last night after I finished my other reading, and it's just so many of them, y'all. Y'all don't even understand, but I was led by Spirit to do this. I sat back, I looked at a lot of the information and what was being said and all kinds of things, and I kind of sat on it, deciding whether I was going to try to say anything about it, if I was going to say anything about it, or if I was going to try to do anything about it, or what. But, like, I really didn't even need a reading for this. My visions on this is enough, and I know it's completely accurate. Tonight's missing mystery is going to be about Shawtyria Waits. This is a young lady who was residing in Texas. She was going to college there. I believe I don't know if it's the name of the college is like Perryview. It's Prairie or Perryview, something like that. I know she was attending college in Texas, and that's why she was there. She is originally from, I believe it's Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is an African American young lady. She had just turned 20 years old. Like I said, she was there attending college. So I'm going to start this off with my visions around this. You all, as I was wrapping, I told you I'm led by Spirit, okay? So when I was wrapping up my reading that I did on last night, she popped up. And I'm like, my goodness. I was like, God, it's just so many of them. And I looked at the story. I looked at a bunch of different information. And I just felt it. I knew exactly what happened, what went on with this young lady. And so because of that, Spirit was just kind of telling me I didn't even need to really do a reading for her. I could literally just tell what I know about the situation. There's a lot of lies and things that are taking place about the situation around Shawtyria Waits. And it's a very frustrating situation because more often than not, when you get African American people who go missing, the police officers, the detectives, the FBI, everybody takes their time. They don't really care. They don't put forth any effort when it's African American people that come up missing. Yet, if it's some blonde hair, blue eyed Caucasian person that comes up missing, they've got several different police force working on it. They've got the FBI coming in. They've got volunteers from all over the place searching and looking and all kinds of things. Like, from what I've been able to research about the situation, the police officers in Texas, they're not doing anything. They're not questioning anybody. They're not even trying to search for this young lady. There are other groups down there who are doing so and have taken it upon themselves to reach out to people, which I'm going to point some things out to you all about them that I noticed as well. And this is how you know when a lot of situations are connected back to powers that be in certain secret societies, in certain organizations with certain people, who comes forth and who you start seeing people pop up and make appearances to be the center head, the front person, to be either acting like they're helping the family or the talking head of the situation or whatever. So let me just get into this. Like I said, I'm really pissed off by the fact that the police in Texas, in Houston, Texas, they are not doing anything. They're not actively searching for this girl. It's because she's African American, and it is because the fact that she is 20 years old. But the circumstances around her disappearance, they clearly know that some type of foul play is involved, and they should be actively investigating this and looking for her. Like I said, Even with situations where Caucasian children come out missing, whether it was a setup situation, a sacrifice situation, even if they have been told to stand down higher up, they still at least put forth this front. Like they're trying and they're searching and they're actively investigating, and it's all over the news and it's in the papers, and it's, you get it gets a lot of attention, and it gets widespread. This is not going on in this situation, and it really kind of pisses me off. Nevertheless, this missing person's mystery tonight, like I said, is about Shawtyria Waits. Actually, she had turned 20 years, or she had just turned 20 years old on the day that she had went missing. She actually went missing that night. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of the situation. I'm going to tell you my visions on the situation, and then I did a spirit reading for her. But y'all, I know this, and I literally didn't even have to do a reading. I just went ahead and did a reading to get clarification about what I was feeling and what I was thinking, just to make sure that, I just wasn't feeling some type of way and, coming up with these things myself. So there's some conflicting information out there for the people who are actively speaking about this. Some people say that she went missing on July 25th. Some are saying that she went missing on July 27th. Either way it go, it was her birthday on the day that she went missing. So whether it was July 25th or July 27th, this girl has been missing for 2 weeks now, okay? And this is as of this year. So it's either July 25th or July 27th of 2001. She went missing from Houston, Texas. Now, the story that is being given is that she was at a club with, it was a total of 3 of them. So it was Shawtyria Waits with 2 other girls. It was Shawtyria's birthday. These girls were together supposedly. They're supposedly friends. I beg to differ on that. They were supposed to be celebrating Shawtyria's birthday. They claimed that they met this man at a club, and after conversing with him at the club, when the club closed, they left the club and they had planned to meet with this guy at his apartment complex. Now, allegedly, after I started watching the broadcast of what I assumed, let me just say this, that when they said the girls were out at a club and they were celebrating Shawtyria's birthday, I was under the assumption that these girls just went out to a nightclub because they was like they were dancing and they were having fun. There's this broadcast that was out with family members speaking out, with other people in knowing of these people in the situation who said it in a different way. It's still the same situation. All 3 girls were together. They were out at the club, and it says that they were dancing. So this leads me to believe that they are dancers. They are strippers at a club. Because this man goes on to say that there was this big spender at the club that I guess was, tricking off a lot of money at the club on them. So I assumed that these girls were dancers, strippers at this point. Because at first, originally, I assumed they went to a nightclub. They were just having a good time for Shawtyria's birthday. But obviously, these girls were strippers, dancers, however you want to say it, at a club. There was this big spender in there that they met. When the club closed that night, he invited them supposedly back to his apartment complex and was going to pay them supposedly for some private dances or some prostitution going on, because the man in the interview also said that they came back to the apartment complex, as the other girls told him. He says that they came back to the apartment complex under the illusion that they were going to make some more money or whatever. So this is where I realized that the girls were actually strippers. So allegedly they went to this complex to turn tricks. However, when they got there, the 2 friends claimed that they dropped off Shawtyria Waits at the apartment complex, and the 2 other friends claimed that they left the apartments. They dropped her off, they left the apartments, and they went right down the street to the store They supposedly went to this store. They claimed they were going to get makeup, okay? And they claimed that they were only gone for 15 minutes. They claimed when they returned, they went into the apartment complex, went to the apartment, knocking on the door. Nobody answered. Come to find out, it was a vacant apartment. They said that they proceeded to call Shawtyria Wade's phone. She never answered. She didn't answer her text. And then eventually, after they kept calling, it was going straight to voicemail. So at that point in time, they knew that her phone had been turned off. Shawtyria Waits has never been seen or heard from again. I'm telling you all right now. When I heard this, I'm like, this is a straight up Playa Club situation. If anybody has ever seen the movie Players Club, you know what I mean. Okay. First of all, let's just go over the story in which we know. So, a news station has covered this briefly. They had some kind of anchor that was out there that was covering this briefly. They were out at the apartment complex and they were talking about this situation. Problem number one. At first they made it seem like the girls, it was Shawtyria's birthday. The girls was out at a club. They was dancing. They was having fun. They was kicking it for her birthday. So like I said, they made it seem like they were just at a regular club and they was hanging out and they was kicking it. Come to find out, these girls are dancers. They're strippers. That they were working at a club. Some big baller came in there. He was spending a lot of money. He was chit-chatting with them and offered them to come back to his apartment to make some more money. So they went. Okay, the problem that I have after that is the fact that the two other girls left Shawtyria. First of all, y'all all came there together. Y'all don't know this person from Adam. Why did you leave her? I said off top, this was a setup from the jump. Now, remind you that these girls said that they went right down the street. They were going to the store and they were going to get makeup. What store? What makeup? Now, think about this. It was already late at night. If they were going to the club, if they were at a regular club, or even if, and from the story, they were at a strip club. Everybody knows that strip clubs, close really late or in the wee hours of the freaking morning. What store were they able to go to that was open where they could get makeup? Any woman knows that any woman that's going out, I don't care if you're just going out on a date, you're going out with, to chill with your girlfriends, your friends, or whatever, you're going to the club, you ready when you left the house. Especially if you strippers, your makeup was already on. You were already dressed. You don't go to no store in no middle of the night talking about you going to get some makeup, okay? So that was a lie. They dropped this girl off from the moment they claimed that they dropped her off at the apartment complex and she went in by herself and the other two girls took off to go to a store supposedly for makeup. I would like to know what store, because at that time of night, no store is open, less long for you to get makeup. Only store that could have possibly been open is a convenience store or a gas station or something like that, okay? So they're lying. This was a setup. Then they claimed they were only gone 15 minutes. They came right back. Another lie. And then they claimed the apartment that when they came back to the apartment complex, the apartment that they went to was, they come to find out, was a vacant apartment. Shawtyria Waits was nowhere to be found, seen, and was no longer answering her phone. Y'all, this is a straight up Players Club situation. This girl was set up, okay? That's the main part of the story. Now I'm going to tell you my vision. I said from the jump that it was a setup. That was the first thing I heard. In my spirit, in my mind, this was a setup. I said from the jump that the two girls, they were lying. Now, remind you, I told you that Shawtyria Waits is from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She is in Texas to attend college. This is a college student. So we're not talking about some little slum, dumb, hood rat type of a girl. I feel like Shawtyria, my spirit is telling me Shawtyria had been targeted long before this situation happened. I believe that since Shawtyria was in Texas as a student going to college, I believe that she was coached, that she was coerced, and even stripping. They came along, played pretend like they were her friends, trying to, hey girl, we can make a lot of money, this can help you with school, and get what you want, get what you need. She started stripping. From there, these girls set her up to tell her, girl, look, if you turn a few tricks, you can make even more money. You can make XYZ amount of money. The next thing Spirit told me is that the other two girls were paid to lure Shawtyria away. You have to understand, this is a girl who is not from there. Anybody that she is cool with, that she hangs with, that she talks to, that she's around, that she know, she met once she got there. This girl is not from Houston, Texas. She's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She was in Texas to attend college. Okay? So she was coerced into starting to strip, and she was targeted from the jump. From there, it made it seem very enticing to her to turn tricks to make a whole lot more money, especially on the big ballers that come through the club, like the night that she went missing. This is exactly what happened. Spirit is telling me that that the other two girls was paid under the table, like behind her back, to lure her away from her. And Spirit tells me that, how women feel more comfortable with other women. So she thought she was cool. As long as all of them was going together, she thought she was cool. Like, she probably wouldn't have taken off on her own with this complete stranger to go meet up with him after. She felt comfortable with these other two girls and did not know that they were setting her up. They had been paid to lure her away from there. The other two girls were literally paid to lure her from there, to get her to the abductors, the kidnappers, and they were in on the whole setup. Not only that, these girls knew that something bad was going to happen to her. This is what my vision showed me. This is what I felt. As far as visions go, I instantly seen her being attacked. Like, I can't necessarily I can't necessarily make out people's faces, but I see her, and it's like from the moment she got wherever, she was attacked. Like, she was attacked. She was grabbed. She was snatched up in some kind of way. That is mainly what I see. Everything else is what I felt around this situation, and I already knew. I knew the two girls that she was with, that was supposed to be friends, supposedly, they were lying. I knew this was a setup from the jump, with the other girls, with the guys, everything. This entire situation was a setup, y'all. Like, seriously, and it pisses me off so freaking bad, because the authorities down there are not doing a damn thing. But this situation, and I believe they know what's going on. Like, the area that she was taken, you're going to hear this guy talk in the interview. He was like, that is the worst trafficking area that they have down there. A lot of people get trafficked from that area. So this is obviously an issue down there. They know it. And because it doesn't help the fact that this girl is African American, she's not even from there, and the authorities are not even taking it seriously to do anything about what's going on, y'all. Okay, so that was the brief overview of the case. I just told you my visions about the situation. I'm going to get into the reading, okay? Oh, this just drives me, y'all. This really pisses me off. Okay, so I prayed, I meditated, I called on my spirit guides, I called on the Most High to give me clear and accurate messages for this reading, and it is as follows. This is a reading for Shawtyria Waits. This is the young lady who went missing from Houston, Texas. I asked Spirit Was Shawtyria set up by the two other girls she was with, her supposed friends? I got a clear answer from Spirit of yes. I asked Spirit, did the guy they met at the club pay the other two girls to lure Shawtyria to him? I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, did the other two girls purposely leave Shawtyria? I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, did the other two girls do anything to hurt Shawtyria, like physically harm her, hurt her in some kind of way, do something to her? I got a direct answer of yes. They were not only involved in the setup, they were not only paid to help lure her away, but they also did something to physically restrain her, physically hurt her, or something before they left. I asked Spirit, did the guy from the club kidnap Shawtyria? I got a direct answer of yes. I asked Spirit, has Shawtyria been trafficked? I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, is Shawtyria still in Texas? I got a clear answer of no. I asked Spirit, has Shawtyria been hurt in any way? I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, hold on y'all, this light is kind of funky. Can you still see that? Okay. I asked Spirit, has Shawtyria been, I did that one already. I asked Spirit, what is Shawtyria's current condition? I asked, was she alive? And I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, how has Shawtyria been raped? I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, has Shawtyria been beat? I got a clear answer of yes. I asked Spirit, has Shawtyria been drugged? I got a clear answer of yes. And you all can see the answers here. Maybe the lighting is kind of jacked up, but you see all the answers here. I asked Spirit, is Shawtyria still in the United States? I got a clear answer of yes. And I immediately knew when I asked this next question, it came to me. It's certain things I feel, certain things I see. And from where she was taken, and considering the fact that she's only been gone for 2 weeks, I knew that these were not guys that are ultra wealthy, or super wealthy like that. So they are traveling with her by car. They may have a lot of money. I'm not saying they're like broke guys. They clearly had a lot of money to entice them with, because they were throwing a lot of money in the club that night. I clearly see them throwing a lot of money in the club that night. They paid the other girls quite a bit to go along with this. So they're not broke. They could be hustlers, they could be dealers, they could be a lot of other things, but they're not broke. But I know that they are traveling. They wasn't wealthy to the point where they got like a private plane or something and got out of there with her. I feel like they're traveling with her by vehicle, by car or SUV or truck, some type of vehicle, but they are traveling with her. I asked Spirit, and I immediately knew this. When I asked Spirit, was she still in the United States? Was she gone from Texas? And I got a clear answer of yes. When I asked Spirit, was she still in the United States? I got a clear answer of yes. I knew how they were traveling with her, and I could feel it. And I knew if they were traveling with her like that, they would have to come past me. They would have to leave out of Texas, come past me in Arkansas, go through Memphis and all of that to get to the next port. I automatically knew that they were taking her to Atlanta, but I went on and clarified it anyway. I asked Spirit, where are Shawtyria's abductors taking her? And I got a clear answer of Atlanta. I asked Spirit, is there more than one abductor with Shawtyria. I got a clear answer of yes. And then I proceeded to ask Spirit how many abductors are with her. I got a clear answer of 2 abductors. So there's more than one guy that is with her, that is trafficking her, that was a part of this. And it's like several of them, besides the other 2 girls that were with her and a part of the setup and got paid to go along with the setup. The big spender that was in the club, he wasn't there by himself. There were other guys with him. And there's at least one other person that I picked up that is traveling with him, with this girl. I asked Spirit, were both of the abductors at the club the night that Shawtyria went missing? And I got a clear answer of yes. They both were in that club. Something else that these other 2 chicks lied about, they pretty much just kind of told, oh, it was this one guy, and they claim they don't remember what he looked like. They claim they don't know too much about him and this, that, and the other, but they do. They are lying. Their whole story is a lie, and the authorities need to be looking into them because they are some low down, dirty, excuse my language, but bitches. They are some shysty, nasty, low down, dirty, gutter rat bitches. For another woman to set up a woman like this, man, look, I'm telling you, them. I'm leave that there because I ain't gonna say what need to be done to them. But yeah, they some low down, dirty, shysty, gutter rat bitches. No doubt about it. I asked Spirit. I asked Spirit also, was at least one of Shawtyria's captors or people who were involved a classmate at college with her? I kept getting a feeling, well, I eventually got the feeling later actually, that someone was there that she goes to college with, or she's a classmate with, because she's in college in Houston, Texas, but there is someone who was close to her, who was around her, who knows what happened. They could be a part of the setup, or maybe this was somebody that she was supposed to be talking to or dating that maybe didn't know that she was stripping, that was at the club, and this is some type of retaliation against her or something like that. But there was somebody there at that club around her that knows her more so than this situation. And I got specifically classmate at college, somebody was there that goes to college with her that knows more about this situation. I asked Spirit, did the abductors live at the apartment complex that Shawtyria was dropped off at? I got a clear answer for Spirit of no. The whole apartment complex theory, that was nothing but a decoy. The abductors that took her did not live at that. Nobody that was involved in this setup, that was involved in this situation, lived at that apartment complex. I'm not sure how that apartment complex ended up being used, but it's a decoy. It's a decoy. None of the abductors lived there. And when I was thinking about this story before I started researching and going over the case, and before I decided to do a reading, I said I can almost guarantee that the people, not the other people who were, because there are people who were involved in the setup that are from Texas, like the other 2 girls, like the person that she goes to college with. These are all people that were a part of the setup, that know what happened, that was there, but they are from Texas. The people that actually took her, that actually abducted her, they are not from Texas. So the abductors that took her, the apartment complex thing was a decoy. None of them lived there. None of them know anybody that lived at that apartment complex. I'm not even sure how they end up just picking that random spot, using that apartment complex. I asked Spirit, was Shawtyria ever at that apartment complex that they stated that they dropped her off at? And I got a clear answer of no. Shawtyria was not there. That is not where they lured her to. That is not where they took her. When she left the club with the other two girls, they met up with these guys who were essentially the abductors, the kidnappers, somewhere else. But it was not that apartment complex, because none of them lived there. None of them know anybody that lives there. And this is the reason why when the girls came up with the story that they went to the store and they came back 15 minutes later and they went to the apartment, they went to some vacant apartment that nobody lived in. They didn't know anybody else that was there. I believe that was made up after the fact. Shawtyria was never at that apartment complex. She never went in that apartment complex. Nobody in the situation even knows anybody that lives there. It was completely a decoy, and a lie. I asked Spirit, the girls that Shawtyria was with lured her to her abductors at another location. I got a clear answer of yes. This is how I know that they took her somewhere else. They lured her somewhere else, and as part of the setup, and handing her over to these guys that like literally immediately grabbed her, like attacked her from the moments that they got there. And these girls were like involved some kind of way with the attack, or getting her to go, or getting her to get out and go with them, or something. I'm feeling. I asked Spirit, the other two girls that Shawtyria was with, did they really go to the store and come back in 15 minutes like they said? And I got a clear answer from Spirit of no. So that was also a blatant lie that these girls told. That was something that was made up, just like the apartment was made up. Just about every situation except for the club scene was made up. They were at the club together. They did leave there together. What happened thereafter, everything that they told was a lie. I asked Spirit, did the other two girls know Shawtyria was going to be kidnapped? And I got a clear answer of yes. That's the reason why I call these tramps low down dirty bitches. They are lying, filthy, nasty, hood rat bitches. I'm telling you. And I apologize for my language for anybody that's listening to this. Like, I'm trying to stop cursing. But in this situation, this girl was set up. I'm telling you, she was literally set up, and she was lured to her very demise. And it was all set up from the jump. From the before they even left the club. She had no idea that these other girls was a part of the setup. She trusted them. She was comfortable around them. She thought these girls were her friends. And she had no idea that these chicks had been paid to lure her out of there and get her to these guys. And they knew that she was going to be kidnapped. They knew that they was going to rape her. They knew that they was going to drug her. They knew that they was going to take off with her. And the whole other story isn't made up. This is the reason why they're telling authorities now, oh, we don't really know what the guy looked like. And if they did give some type of description, it's completely made up, you all. Like, seriously, this situation here got me so pissed off. This girl has been missing for like 2 weeks now. But if there's anybody in power, anybody in authority, whether listening in Texas or listening elsewhere, they are on their way to Atlanta with her. They could already be there by now, because I'm in Arkansas. So from Arkansas to Atlanta, it's only about 8 hours. They were in Texas. So they was in Houston, Texas. So from here to Houston, I want to say it's like, what, 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. So they, from Houston to Atlanta, they could have literally gotten there in a couple days. You know, if they made any, I'm saying a couple days, because if they stopped anywhere, unless they left straight from there and drove all the way from there to Atlanta. But they could have stopped for gas. They could have stopped for food. They could have stopped for anything. They could have stopped to drug her some more, to attack her some more along the way, or whatever. They are on their way to Atlanta with her. They're either already in Atlanta. She's been gone 2 weeks now, so they've got to already be there. But she is in Atlanta now. Yeah. She's in Atlanta now. Um, so hopefully, um, the right people will hear this and take heed to the situation, what's happening, what's going on. This really kind of pissed me off. It really kind of made me mad that the authorities wasn't doing anything. But it's a lot of staged events and psyop type of crap and trafficking type of crap that goes on in Texas all the time. Like, Texas is one of the main hubs for like staged events and you know, and all kinds of shit that these satanic powers that be involved in. Which brings me to my next point. I'm going to show you all this clip, okay? The guy that is doing predominantly the talking, he's going to tell you that the police is not even looking into this. They're not even actively doing anything about this. He claims that he's with some group called the new Black Panther Nation, Black Panther Nation or something like that. He's the guy in the white shirt. But if you notice, the guy that's standing right next to him, he is in a black shirt and it has gold writing on it. It has a Freemason symbol on it. This lets me know that Freemasons are involved more often than not. And you see that a lot of time in Arkansas when major things go on in our state, pertaining the black community or black people, period. And you know, there's like different activist type groups and things like that that get involved in shit, but a lot of them are connected and linked to these secret societies and things. And there's a man that's standing right next to him that is clearly a Freemason. The guy that claimed that he's with the Black Panther Nation, he could be a Mason too, but the guy standing next to him clearly has on Masonic attire, which lets me know that these powers that be, as well as the Freemasons, know what's going on with this situation and what has happened. And you know, like I said, this whole thing was set up and it's just funky all around it. This shit stinks. It really does. And I know that the powers that be know exactly what's going on, and it's also the reason that the people in power down there are not doing a damn thing about anything, because they know this girl has been trafficked. They know exactly what has happened to her. They know exactly what's going on, and the police are purposely not doing anything about the situation because I'm telling you, she was already a target. She was already being watched, and this was set up from the jump. From the moment that she moved there and she began going to college there, she was being watched. She was seen as easy prey, an easy target because she wasn't from there. She's probably looking to make friends and different things. So yeah. People got close to her, tried to befriend her. She got coerced and convinced into stripping to make extra money. Then she got coerced and convinced into turning tricks for extra money, you know. And it's crazy, you know. So it's like when she was, like I said, from college, these people befriended her. She was convinced to start stripping. Like, girl, you can make a lot of money. And then you know, these big ballers every once in a while will come in the strip club and they throwing a lot of money. And then you got the other girls in here turning tricks. They convince her, you know, she see them turning tricks and stuff and convince her, hey girl, you know, look, you can spend a little time with him. He comes fast. He may just want you to suck his dick. Girl, he'll give you $500. And he a big baller. He don't even want much. And it like that. And coerce her into doing these other things. But it was a setup all along. It was a setup all along, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something else that a lot of people don't know. Just like you have scouters and recruiters that go and look at different people playing sports on different levels, from high school to college to even people who are talented and skilled and have certain abilities, whether you can sing or dance or act or draw or whatever kind of talent you have. They have talent scouts everywhere. Or you are prime picking for a model or this or that. They have recruiters everywhere. in everything. They have everything infiltrated. And these people walk around looking like regular average Joe ass people, bro. And they'll go to the clubs and everything, seeing what they can see. And they'll go to the strip club. They'll spend a lot of money, get them some drink looking regular, then everything. But they recruiters. You understand? They want to see. They already know that you willing to go as far as stripping. They looking to see what girls is willing to turn tricks, what girls, loose with it a little bit, what girls, what I'm saying, gullible, what girls get too wasted, what girls is easy prey. These recruiters and things are everywhere. This is why you have to watch your surroundings, and I swear to God, you need to watch your supposed friends, because most people that you think your friends ain't really your friends. And trust and believe, if it ever come down between you and them, they gonna choose themselves every time, and they'll stab you in your back. You be surprised what people will do for money, and that's exactly what has happened to Shawtyria Waits. Y'all have to excuse me. I am so upset about this situation, but that's the end of the reading. I'm gonna let you all see this clip, and as I always say, you all take care of yourself, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies. Life is short, and you never know when it's gonna be your last day here on this earth. And I mean, you all know we live in a Masonic, satanic, and demonic world. So this evil is around us all day, every day. So anyway, let me let y'all see this clip.
God of the beneficent, the merciful, who thy goodness of the one God who praises you tonight. We are gathered here today looking for a beautiful young woman who has been missing now for 19 days. What we do know and what we have learned is that she came to this particular apartment complex to meet a man with whom she thought was a friendly individual and a friendly person that they met at a club. And the gentleman who met them at the club invited them to come back to his place to continue enjoying themselves. 3 girls came together. They dropped off one girl while the other 2 girls went to the store. This beautiful young black sister goes into this apartment complex and completely disappears off the human radar screen. We have talked to several residents here. They do remember seeing her walking in the complex.
Sorry, y'all. Let me try to fix this so y'all can see it clearer. I'm sorry.
They don't know which unit she knocked on what door, but what we do know, she came to this complex and has never been seen again in 19 days. The other 2 young girls who were with her, who was supposed to be partying with her, came back 15 minutes later from right down the street from a store. When they came back, they started calling her phone. There was no answer. Then all of a sudden the phone was cut completely off. So we believe that this young beautiful sister absolutely met with foul play in this apartment complex. We believe that
that's the guy who played peace with the Black Panther Nation. This guy right here, he got on the masonry symbolism right here.
These girls here and to kidnap these girls. Well, obviously it only happened to one because only one went in. She went to the unit and knocked on their unit door. We discovered what unit that was. It was a vacant unit. Nobody even lived. So what's somebody making inside? We just don't know. But we do know there has been no trace of this young girl here at this apartment complex or anywhere else in this city or any other surrounding cities since the night of her birthday 19 days ago. Her family is here. She was no relation to the young woman, and she'll have a single behalf of her family also, as well as her uncle.
My name is Carrie Weeks, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm here to in search of my little cousin. It's not like her to not be in contact with anybody. She's a beautiful beautiful young lady who started out in Texas going to Perryview, and we're just a little concerned. We're worried about her, and it'd be great if everybody could put a word out. She doesn't deserve this. She doesn't need to be in this type of situation at all, and it'd be greatly appreciated if we can get that help. Thank you.
Uncle will have something to say. Thank you.
My name is Leonard Waits. I'm from
This is her uncle. You see, he got on the masonry shirt. That's a Freemason symbol right there.
Again,
The
like
G,
my daughter said,
the symbol in
we've
there.
been missing her for 20 days now, 19 days now, and we definitely appreciate
The 969-666.
for helping us out in this endeavor. Not knowing where she is, not hearing from her, has been trying on our family, and we just need some answers, and we appreciate the help that we're getting from the people in especially Pontiac and people in Houston, Texas. So if anybody has a message for us, we'll be handing out flyers and our number so they can get in contact with us.
Did you guys file a police report?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we
When
did.
did you file a police report?
We'll have that case on us and give them. But that's been filed like 19 days ago.
Okay, so you guys
Because
filed.
immediately her friends called the police. Immediately her friends called the police.
See the masonry hand symbol that they doing? This girl was
Immediately
set
her
up.
friends called the police.
She was
Police
set
would
up.
come, took information, walked the premises, no sight of it whatsoever. And it just really just can't do anything until a certain amount of period of time before she becomes classified as a missing person. What we do know, and this is not to disparage anyone, but the young girls have been dancing at a nightclub. And they thought that they would want to come here and perhaps make a few extra dollars. It was a trick. It was a setup. They came and only one went in. But the plan, we believe, was for all three to go into that vacant
See him
apartment.
throw up the 3 6s, 666.
And they met that man
After
at
nightclub.
the nightclub. See?
He claimed the plan was for all three of them to be taken.
Money on him.
The other two girls was a part of the setup.
Large sums of money in the strip club, and that he was luring them with the money. And so they
See the
thought,
guy over
because
here
it was
in the
closing
corner
time,
with his back turned?
this guy promised
He
me
with the
to continue
Panther
this
Nation. He
at
got
my
on the
spot
red hat.
in Southwest
Just
Houston.
let you know she was a
Gave
blood
his address,
sacrifice.
gave the apartment number. But it was never a plan to continue reporting. We believe that it was a plan to kidnap these young girls. And only one went in and one has never been seen.
Do you know any of the other two girls? She numbers with the side?
They did.
Picture of them?
They nothing. They didn't. Because you're not allowed, we asked that question, did you take a picture? The girls are not allowed to have their cell phones in the club. And you can't take pictures of the patrons inside of a strip club. Because some of these men
See, they were
don't want to
stripping
be
in a strip
recognized as
club. This is
people.
why I found out they were stripping.
These type of establishments.
And the apartment complex, they don't have a lease or any names of who
No,
they
no,
own?
it was vacant. It was vacant.
So y'all clearly see the lies and the deceptions around this. Hold on, guys. Lies and deceptions all around this, y'all. The girl was a setup. You got all these Freemasons around here. They throwing up their 3 6s. They got their Masonic shirts on. You got the Panther Nation there. This girl was a sacrifice.
Well, it was told that the detective did request a video, but nothing has happened. Nothing. He hasn't actually been in contact with anybody in our family since August 5th.
This is one of her family members that's come down here from Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where they're from.
Past 20 days been like for you and your family?
It's been horrible. I can't imagine what she's going through or what happened to her. This is just crazy, especially her being out here in Houston, in the area that she's been in by herself.
The girls are not allowed either. And the detectives don't know where this place is. What they've done there, I can't say. That's something they have to answer to, what they requested and who they spoke to. But from my dialogue with the other girls, the detectives really have had very little conversation with them. Very little. It has not been a priority from the detectives to really push this case. I think that because of what the detectives believe was the nature of the relationship and the pretense of the arrangement, it's not a priority for me. But at the end of the day, this is a young girl who was taken against
See the Masonic hand signs that he's doing? He's throwing up
did not voluntarily
the diamond shape. It's all Masonic hand signs. They know this girl was a setup. She was a sacrifice. And this girl has been trafficked. They know exactly what happened to her. She was targeted from the moment she went there.
Have talked to me continuously. You know,
the signs and the symbolisms are everywhere, guys. Y'all better open up your eyes and see.
Just riding up and down, seeing if maybe they would see something, to see someone that could give them some type of information.
The truly was unbelievable.
Yes, no doubt.
I was just going to ask them, what took it so long for us to learn about this case?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The girls only contacted me 2 days ago, 3 days ago. 3 days ago. I'm sorry. The girls reached out to me 3 days ago. But it had been reported to cops weeks ago. But once the young lady explained everything to me, I knew right off, based on my experience with this kind of work, there was more to this story. Plus, in this area is notorious for human trafficking. This Southwest Houston area, notorious for it. This is the hub of it. And when she explained the circumstance of the story to me, where this all began, and how the big spender, you knew it was a setup. Exactly. So that's what this really was. There is a description, yes, there's a description. But once again, that's up to the detectives to share that with y'all. They ain't gave us nothing. And I believe, in my opinion, that we in the new Black Panther Nation have done more work in 3 days than what they've done in 20 days.
Threw up the 3 cities.
We came here to this building.
The Black Panther Nation.
And walked it 2 days in a row, talking to people. We've made phone calls. We followed up on leads. We asked them, have y'all talked to the cops? Have the police been through? Have detectives knocked on any doors? Zero. Not one person that can tell us one thing about a detective raising and asking questions. Zero. A little bit, yes, a little bit, but I don't want to get off into that yet. But I do believe this is bigger. I do believe that this dude, whoever he is not by himself in this. I believe this is a little bit. I told y'all that. Because one man wasn't planning to grab all 3. Not by himself. Not at all.
They wasn't planning to grab all 3.
That was absolutely the motive here.
No, it wasn't. That girl was a target. She was set up. The other 2 girls were in on it.
Like that. So it wasn't like it was on and ringing, ring, go to voicemail. Quickly it was powered down, boom. So it's like that. This was planned.
Exactly.
And whoever did this knew what they were doing, because they knew where to target, and they knew where to entice like that money like that, and they knew how to set the stage. That stage was set, and so we believe this young girl was kidnapped from this apartment complex. Where is she? We don't know, but we need the Houston Police Department to treat this as a priority. I absolutely believe, and I'm going to be very honest with you, we got a black mayor, we got a black police chief. If this was 3 white girls that came to this apartment complex and a young white girl, blonde-headed and blue-eyed, disappeared in that building, they would be swarming this place trying to get answers. Let's just cut the BS. They'd be swarming this place trying to get answers. But nobody really cares when it's a black or brown girl that goes missing. It's never really been a priority for HPD unless you got something up front that states foul players involved. But as far as them just investigating to determine if foul players involved or not, when it's a black or brown girl, they don't do it like that. Let's just be real about it. So we need the help of the city. And we need HPD to treat this case as a priority, because this girl did not just disappear on her own. We believe that she was...
And I'm going to tell y'all something else too. For those of you who think that's because there are African American or brown skinned people who are in leadership positions, y'all need to understand, they are not working for us, okay? They are not in those positions to protect and serve us. They don't care nothing about we the people, or not. I don't care nothing about what they campaign on about, what they convince you of. They'll get up there and tell you whatever that you want to hear. They working for them satanic powers that be. They are put in those positions by the powers that be, not by the people. Your vote don't count. Your vote don't matter. It never has. They just created that illusion for you to believe that you had power in something, that you had a privilege of something, that you had a decision making in something. You don't. It's an illusion. People are put in those positions of power by the powers that be. Those in the shadows, the shadow government, the elites, power that be. They are the ones who are the big banksters who run, rule, and control everything in this world. And if you think that they are going to allow the people, the masses, to determine anything that goes on in government, in legislature, in anywhere, leave that up to the people, you're just a blind fool. I'm sorry. But a lot of people, especially African American people, especially brown skinned people, you see somebody that look like you that's in a position of power, and you say, finally, we got one of ours in there. Finally, something can be done in our neighborhood. Something will be done for us. The help is on the way. No, it's not, baby. They're not working for us. They wasn't hired by the people. They was hired by the elites. They was hired by the powers that be. They're not working for us. Why you think don't nothing change in your communities, in your neighborhood? Why you think that African American people are killed on a daily basis and it has never changed? And we are dying off more vastly with all these black folk in powerful position. Elite white folks in power have put them in those positions. If you notice, every time something happens or goes on with a brown skin or an African American person or a Mexican or a Latina person or anybody with a brown shade of skin to their skin color, they roll out they gatekeepers, they brown skinned black gatekeepers to come out and please and appease and soothe the brown skinned communities. It's bullshit.
Snatched from this place. Any more questions? We don't talk about that. No, I'm not going there.
So they were at the club, she was celebrating her birthday, and they met this guy. The guy was like, hey, you can get more money, just come to my place. They came to the place.
One did. Two friends went to the store. Right.
They came back and she was gone.
Completely disappeared off the face of the earth. Just gone. And not a whisper has been heard from this child.
He threw up the 3 6s again. That make the third time he done did the 666. Y'all better wake up and realize what the hell is going on in this world, baby. Y'all don't keep thinking it's a game when it's really not.
What I've been noticing for the last several years, the girls are getting younger and younger and younger and younger. And see, what happened is the law changed to where you have to be a certain age now to be in those clubs. So you have a lot of young girls who are literally underground doing this kind of work. These guys know this. So they fly under the radar where they can catch them like that. And many of these girls, some of them are runaways. Some of these girls are from different cities. Some of these girls are lured to cities like this with the dream of making some quick, fast cash. This girl came to Houston from New Mexico to be a student. And now this whole world is just flipped. I'm hoping and praying that many of these young girls and parents recognize and realize that this thing of human trafficking is getting younger and younger and younger.
I'm telling you.
And if we as citizens don't take this seriously,
your United States government is behind a lot of people who goes missing. Y'all should understand that as well.
Then you're going to want somebody to take it seriously. The way, if they can just snatch women like this, and there's no
not even just the United States, governments, period. They are the ones who are making millions of billions of dollars off the underground sex trade operation.
That's it. We have nothing else further to say, but we're begging and pleading with you all for the help, because this young girl was snatched, we believe, from this complex. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. And we do thank you for being here, helping us get the word out. Thank you. Oh, sure. Go right ahead.
And if do y'all have any more pictures you can share? I think we have one of her.
Which one?
Can y'all come up to the mic and just say your name? And if you, I can
just give it a
text
picture.
it to me, or you can airdrop it, whichever is easiest for you guys.
Yes, that's a beautiful picture.
My name is
I know we had one.
Leonard Waits. L-E-O-N-A-R-D.
It's the Mason, him.
Okay.
The other guy Mason too, but he the one that claimed he with the Black Panther Nation. The dude in the black shirt, he got on his Masonic shirt.
W-A-I-T-E-S. And her name is Shawtyria. Shawtyria. S-H-A-W-T-I or S-H-A-W-T-Y-R-I-A.
And she was
Just like it sounds.
She was a student.
Freemasons University. Freemasons University.
She went to Perryview University.
Freshman? Yeah, she was a freshman.
Still a student.
She's still a student. This girl was a target from the moment she got there. She was befriended by some girls, convinced to start stripping. Then they tried to convince her to start turning some tricks, and the setup was on to traffic her. Why? Because she was an easy target that wasn't from Texas.
Yeah, the family's from New Mexico.
I'm coming up.
Jonathan Sion, community activist Quanell X, just wrapped up that press conference here about 30 minutes ago, and he believes the young woman you're about to see, Shawtyria Watts, was kidnapped from this apartment complex. She's been missing since July 25th, and that's the day that she was celebrating her 20th birthday.
See, that's where I got 25th from. Somebody else said 27th, so it's actually the 25th. This is the young lady right here, y'all.
Who wanted them to come back to this apartment complex. Friends told Watts,
I don't know why this girl reminds me so much of Kanika Jenkins when I look at her.
Store to buy some makeup. When they returned to the apartment complex, they could not find or call Shawtyria. The trio was already out celebrating her 20th birthday that night at a club. The friend called her cell phone multiple times, and at some point, the calls went directly to voicemail.
They lied. They was a part of the setup.
X believes Shawtyria was met with foul play, and the man she and her friends met at the club was no good.
What we do know, and this is not to disparage anyone, but the young girls had been dancing at a nightclub. And they thought that they would want to come here and perhaps make a few extra dollars. It was a trick. It was a setup. They came and only one went in. But the plan, we believe, was for all three to go into that vacant apartment at this particular property.
And the family did file a police report, the friends filed a police report the day she went missing on July 25th. And we do want to point out that Shawtyria was a student at Perryview A&M University, and her uncle and cousin were here at the press conference. They said this is just not like her to just do something like this. So they're asking for the community's help. We're going to have much more on this story coming up tonight at 10. For now, reporting live in Southwest Houston, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
Rochelle, thank you for that update.
You're ready, bro.
Okay, y'all. So that is the situation with Shawtyria Waits. I gave you all my visions on the situation as well as the reading. I just wanted you all to hear just how bullcrap that was and all the signs and the symbolisms around it. This girl was clearly set up. This is clearly she was clearly set up. She has been taken, and she has been trafficked now because she's no longer in Texas. I clearly picked that up, and I believe she has been held hostage in Atlanta right now. So if anybody see her or see any suspicious people around her, if you see her, period, you should contact your local authorities wherever you happen to see her. As always, you all, peace, love, and light. Namaste.